All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have been following the early game, the early grind route, and the simple build, and the fastest way to slow yourself down is by upgrading the wrong things too early. In this video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade, but what not to upgrade yet. So let's cover what that means. What to upgrade, but what not to upgrade yet. So if we have like temporary gear is we've done the missions in the game, we've done some things, and we have purple gear. Start off with purple because purple in this game is bad. No one uses purple. It's all gold. It's all ultimate level. It's all ultimate. So if we started trying to level up some purple gear, and I don't think you can, but if you did try to, that'd be waste of stuff, waste of currency. But if you were to equip like an annihilation set, and then to equip like an ascending memory because you got it, but then you got the ballistic shield tracker, and then the bravery set, and then you kept the sprint acceleration set because that's what you wanted. You wanted to get that set, but you have this other stuff. But this doesn't go together. None of it activates a set bonus. Nothing activates a 4-piece set bonus. Nothing activates a 2-piece set bonus. Or you end up getting the 2-piece set bonus and you're like, oh yeah, 5% weak point damage. That's nothing. That's nothing to the overarching information you're gonna get with the build. You're plugging holes and you're not getting anything for it. So if we had a different reactor and we had the frozen mixture reactor, let's do one better. Let's go with the tingling uh the tingling mixture reactor. And you're like, oh, it says I'm good with fusion, I'm good with electric, but your only two fusion skills is the wave, the the Kamehameha hand that she shoots out, and her one, which people rarely use. You're going to be using the second ability and the third ability, so those are singular. So you've invested in fusion, but your primary damage is singular and your boss damage is fusion. So we've wasted resources on putting into something that we're using sparingly. We're not using it often. So Bunny's reactors are going to be singular skill power focused. Now, if we were talking about spreading our resources too thin, that's like upgrading this because we want it, but then upgrading this because we have it, and then upgrading this because it has a defensive stat on it, which none of our gear has defensive stats on it at the moment. Then we're again putting resources in somewhere where it shouldn't have been. Now, again, we go back to weapons and we ended up building in the Alberine cavalry gun because you watched the YouTube video and saw that it was cool. You saw Haley's using it, you saw VS's using it, you saw Serena's using it, and you're like, this gun's gonna be for me. I don't know what that guy's talking about with this whole Blue Beetle thing. We don't need this Blue Beetle. I need the Albion cavalry gun. But then you realize that Bunny doesn't shoot guns. And then you get Ajax and then you put the Albury cavalry on him and he's not moving like Haley and like Viesa do because of the way that they're built as a character, or your Eugen isn't spamming his skills because now you want to try to shoot the Albion cavalry. There's a rare amount of characters in the game that actually shoot the gun, like Glay, Ajax, Eugen probably. Um, Freyna definitely uses her gun a lot, especially the Fallen Hope now that it's fixed. Stuff like that. You're building into guns when most descendants don't shoot guns. Blair uses his fire, Fiesta uses her ice, Epic uses supernovas. Um, let's see. Harris uses skills primarily and toxic damage. Valby shoots giant water bullets. Sharon, we don't talk about Sharon. Sharon is Sharon. Let's see. Serena uses guns, but if you got Serena, well, now you're just looking for builds for Serena. But I'm guessing you're watching this video because you want to know more about going in a direction instead of the direction you already are in. So when we talk about upgrade systems before you understand them, is like, why would we upgrade the ballistic tracker sensor? It has nothing to do with our build, and reading it deals with weak point damage, firearms, and some slight ricochet damage. We don't shoot our gun with Bunny. And even if you did, if you used an Ajax and was like, this is going to be good for my Ajax, I mean, most of the time you're shooting a cannon that's hitting body shots anyway, so it's not going to do anything with weak point damage. Maybe you're getting this for a Serena, but then you look at a Serena build and it's all ascending memory because of the HP boost. So now you've wasted points again and building into something that doesn't go with the character. What is ballistic tracker sensor for? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what it was for. It's cool. It's cool looking. It's purple. Um, when we talk about modules, let's pivot for that since we're already a little 5 minutes in there. If you're not using the Transcendent module, or if you're like, well, I want to use it, but I need it at a discounted price, you're not a YouTuber. I don't think that you're watching this as a YouTuber. You're watching this as a casual player and you want to know and understand the game. Then, maybe take off all the mods, go into the training room and see what it does. That's, you're going to be in there completely module unheavy, and then when you get in there you can try it out, but you don't need to try it out in the field. You can try it out in the training session, which is located right here at this woman, but you got to be like mastery rank 10 or something to unlock this. I don't know why it's not unlocked right away. That's kind of a weird, it's kind of a weird thing to do. But if we started like upgrading like Tonfa or Claw, but we know we need mid-air maneuvering, well, like why is everyone moving so fast? You got to understand where you're going. If you don't understand where you're going, then you're just this is millions of Kuiper and millions of gold. And for some reason, First Descendant devs think that getting gold is really easy in this game, and a lot of the YouTubers who play this game have a lot of gold. But I tell you what, 5 million gold is basically pennies. I'm broke. I'm broke on gold. But you want to use electrical condense, and then a YouTuber says, well, you need electrical charge because this is how you defeat Grim Reaper. You may not be at Grim Reaper status yet. That build may not work for you. That build may be good for that person, and you're not that person. So you would need to pivot. But you then maybe you're thinking, well, how do I know if I like it if I don't use it? Use it in the training grounds, like I said before. If we're going off of someone else's build and they're basically saying like run all these, don't run no HP things, don't run no defense, you got to understand which defense and which HP things are going to be good for you. And that's why we're going to read a few of these. Base, increase the defense at a cost of health. Some characters don't really like that with the cost of, if you take away some of their health, because they're already running low health anyway. If a small skill power modifier is going to be a difference between you hitting 985,000 versus 1,123 damage, something as specific as that could be good for your build. You got to know who's a shield build and who's an HP build and who needs what. Because if you start putting on the samey stuff for different people, well, you're going to realize you're in between a rock and a hard place. Because Glade doesn't have any MP. Glade doesn't have any shields. She has HP and defense. Building into shield recovery and MP recovery out of combat, wasted. It's a wasted stat. She would be better off with HP and fire resistance and something else and something else and something else. Because what she needs shield recovery modifier for, she ain't got no shields. She ain't got no shields. So what is safe to upgrade early? So what you could upgrade early, if we get back to our character, let's get back to our bunny. And then we were talking about weapons. We know a safe bet for any weapon out there is rifle and reinforcement, action reaction, better concentration, better insight. I said those backwards, but you see it. Veil analyzer. This is for any build. A defensive master, fire rate up, insight focus, bullet integration. All these things that I'm naming, right? Not the reload insight. I didn't name that, so I didn't say it. So any of these things that I'm saying here, they're staples in most builds. Slight tweaks. This is a tweak. This is a tweak. This is a tweak, right? These are flexible spots. So some builds will leave these empty and say, well, you can flex this spot if you want to. Put anything you want there. The build still works without it. We don't need to spend all of our cores in order to try to upgrade a weapon right away. We would need to save those cores because you could have up to 27, let's say 27. I'm not saying you capped, but you have 27 yellow cores and you need fire attack rate X at gold level so you had it for your build. You could re-roll that thing 27 times and come up on extra damage to Colossi plus 490%. If you know, you know. Then it's all bad. Then you're like, well, I just wasted a whole bunch of cores. And let's say you wasted it in the wrong weapon. You put all that into Albion Cavalry. She's not even going to use this gun. Now you need a Haley. Now you got to start this whole process over again, and you don't even know where you went wrong. And I'm telling you, you went wrong by trying to go for everything when you need to try to build from one thing. And when these upgrades make sense later to you is when you start seeing multiple different builds online, and you're like, okay, this guy has firearm attack rate on here, electric attack. He has these things for this gun. Why is fire rate so important? And because it makes number here go up. That's why. Why does this have multi-hit chance on it? Why does this have this on it? Well, if we look at the gun's details, we can see that the multi-hit damage is but the weapon itself is kind of But are we always going to get that crit hit rate? Are we always going to get that weak spot damage? Because enemies move, and we're not sharpshooters out there. Why do I need this extraness? Why is sprint speed X so good on this gun? Well, because Bunny's not going to shoot it. She's mainly focused on running with it to get the extra 15% that it provides. I want to say an extra whatever it is, purification. So purification removes debuffs from her while she's holding it, and then while she's using the fusion skill, which is her 1 or her 4, then she's gonna get the arcane energy, which is skill crit hit rate plus 115%. So if you're not using the 1 and you're not using the 4, but you're just running around holding it, then you're not getting the unique ability of the weapon. So hopefully this video helped you guys understand what you are and what you aren't trying to upgrade early. If we had a reactor that we liked but it isn't the reactor that we want, but we still wanted to do in-game content, should we level it up? No, because it's going to cost too many of those green data pads. It's going to cost too much stuff. Your skill power equates for a okay amount of your build. It's a big deal for maybe a Viessa, maybe a Lepic, maybe a Freyna, but the skill power on the reactor isn't end all be all. The component set that you run, most people run a mixed set of 2 of something because they want the specific HP thing, they want the specific 2 set thing, they want the specific defense thing, they want the specific shield thing, they want that specific thing there. And so they're going to get the skill cost reduction by 2. They're going to get I'll show you an example here before all this. It's on my Ajax. We got the 2-piece of fire rate because of that set, and then we got the 2-piece defense because we know we're going to be using the restored relic, and we need that fire rate. So my explosive attack X, it's a good roll, but for what I'm trying to achieve, I think I need fire rate X up there anyway. So I think I'm building this gun wrong anyway because it won't be shooting as fast as I want it to, but it'll be shooting faster and causing more damage, doing less numbers, but it'll be shooting faster. Anyway, I digress. So now that you know what to avoid upgrading, the next step is knowing what to focus on after the early game, and that's what I'm going to cover in the next video. So like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.